going on, you bunch of heathens? We're back with part 3, and I believe... No, there's still another part after this. Holy shit. Damn. I did not think that there was this many parts to it. I think that part 4 is the last part. It says the final bonsai, but we are on part 3 of Iwo Jima animated by the operations room. No surrender. I've really been liking these because it's putting a whole lot more context into like the movies I used to watch. So this has been really fun. Make sure you guys check out the original and let's jump in.
This video is sponsored by the Operations Room's new sister channel, the Intel Report.
Yeah, we checked them out. That was really cool.
We cover on the Operations Room. We'll be looking at the campaigns, strategy, tactics, technology, people, intelligence, planning, mistakes, and other concepts that explain why things went the way they did. Our intention is to release an analysis video on the Intel Report at the same time as the corresponding battle animation video on the Operations Room.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Dude, that means I'm gonna have to check out like some of their videos in tandem. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that, huh?
Which it is analysing. For example, in support of the Battle of the Bulge series, we'll be looking at how the German forces kept the surprise assault a genuine secret, why the German tanks were so ill-suited for the campaign, why did the 101st Airborne remain adamant that they didn't need rescuing by pattern, and other topics. To support the Iwo Jima series, we'll be exploring why the naval barrage didn't work, the invasion from the Japanese soldiers' perspective, the kamikazes, the Japanese holdouts that didn't surrender until 4 years later.
4 years?
We'll also be looking back at the Desert Storm.
Wait, I didn't know there were holdouts for that long. 4 years. Holy God. And just, dude, that's so cool that they have that they're doing all these.
We'll be bringing you the most explosive and exciting real combat footage, as well as animations, photos, interviews, maps, and data, as well as some guest writers to help us in our analysis.
That's dope.
Please go subscribe to the Intel Report now.
Already done. I'm gonna have to check out more of their shit. That's really cool.
Dawn, the 25th of February 1945. The 4th Marine Division is about to launch a general offensive against the Japanese defences on northern Iwo Jima. With the fall of Mount Suribachi and the good progress of the previous day's attack, there is hope that the island is about to fall to the Americans.
Oh yeah, no, but no, it doesn't. This is like more harder fighting, isn't it?
To advance across the last stretch of Iwo Jima's second airfield, sweep the enemy off the remaining high ground, and push them into the sea. At 6:30 AM, Marine mortars begin shelling suspected Japanese positions, while Sherman tanks form up to support the advance. Half an hour later, the 3rd Battalion of the 24th Marines jumps off and sprints into the assault across the airfield. The Marines have been expecting an easier fight than they have faced in the first days of the battle. But
oh no. And we already know it's not going to be, so this is going to end up being bad.
But are shocked to find themselves coming under the heaviest enemy fire yet. Japanese mortar shells explode around the infantry as they move across the airfield. The American armour quickly moves in to cover the Marines, only for 5 Shermans to be knocked out in quick succession by anti-tank gunfire.
Damn, that quick? And sorry, give me 1 sec. First off, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've really seen much about anything. I think I've only seen like up to Mount Suribachi, really. But give me 1 sec. I keep getting artifact video like tearing from my browser. Give me 1 sec. Okay. I had to relaunch my browser, and I think I'm more or less back where we were.
Anti-tank gunfire. The Japanese have pre-sighted this area, and have placed 47mm guns with armour-piercing rounds on the ridges ahead.
Oh, of course they did.
Ahead of them is the most difficult fighting that the Marine Corps will face.
I mean, they kind of prepped for the fucking, like, beach to fall, I guess. Kind of smart, but it kind of sucks that they did.
In World War II. After clearing the airfield, the 4th Marine Division must cross the Motoyama Plateau, a flat area devoid of cover, surrounded by ridges perfect for Japanese defenders.
Fuck.
On one side is Hill 382, a small mountain which has been hollowed out to conceal anti-tank guns and artillery. The other half is dominated by a massive rock the Marines will call the Turkey Knob, that also serves as the Japanese communications headquarters.
It's a funny name.
These concrete reinforced strongpoints form a grid of interlocking fire where no Marine can approach without being spotted. This area will soon have a nickname that both the Americans and Japanese will later agree on, the Meat Grinder. The Marines make some progress up to the northwestern side of the airfield.
Bro, both
and can
sides
only
agree,
cling
you
to a
know
small
it's
stretch of
fucking
land
bad.
beyond at the Motoyama Plateau. Over the following days, a grinding attritional battle will see the two sides scrap over every inch of land. American intelligence believes they have destroyed about half of the estimated 13,000 defenders of Iwo Jima. In fact,
God,
their
that's a
appraisal
lot.
of enemy casualties is accurate. The Marines have killed about 6,000 Japanese soldiers, but what they don't realise is that another 16,000 enemy troops remain on the island.
Oh. Oh no. That's so they woefully underestimated how many troops were there. So they killed 6, so there's like 22,000 troops. Oh, that's so bad. 6,000, that's a lot, but there's still 16k. God
And they have been
damn.
ordered to fight to the death by Lieutenant General Tadamichi Kuribayashi. Rather than performing an expected cleanup operation on the rest of Iwo Jima, the Marines will instead find themselves fighting their way through General Kuribayashi's main defensive line.
Oh no, not the meat grinder. Oh,
However,
those guys are all
Kuribayashi
dead.
is having difficulties of his own, despite his strong defensive setup. The
Logistics?
loss of Mount Suribachi has deprived his artillery of the ability to harass the main landing beaches, and his forces are running low on food, water, and material.
Yep, logistics.
On D+9,
Big part.
the men of Easy Company of the 28th Marine Regiment
Ooh,
are
Easy
redeployed
Company.
to the front after resting and refitting behind the lines after their daring charge up Mount Suribachi. The iconic photograph of 6 Easy Company men raising the flag over Iwo Jima has galvanized the United States home front, and President
Damn
Roosevelt will soon ask for those Marines to be transferred home for a war bond tour. But
Course.
first, on D+9, the 28th Regiment is ordered to the northern front to rejoin the main battle.
Honestly, it's kind of lucky that unless maybe one of the 6 did die. I'm trying to remember Flags of Our Fathers. I keep wanting to say Sons of Iwo Jima, but I know it isn't that. I can't remember.
The 20th Regiment must traverse a maze of gullies and
I remember
caves
one
where
was
enemy
like
troops
Native
could be lurking
American,
behind
I
every
want to
corner.
say, unless that part of the movie was
The Marines
wrong,
are
but I
cautiously
wouldn't think
entering
so.
a small canyon when they come under fire from Japanese snipers. Chuck Lindbergh, the flamethrower Marine who won a Silver Star on Mount Suribachi, is
Oh,
hit
this fucking
immediately and must
Chad.
be carried to the rear for evacuation.
Oh fuck, at least his tank
Sergeant
was a
Mike
hit.
Strank, one of the flag raisers, orders his platoon to take cover behind an outcropping of rocks. As they are discussing an escape route, a shell from a friendly destroyer offshore falls short and explodes next to Strank, killing him instantly.
Oh, so one of them did die, and god damn, another friendly fire incident. Holy shit, come on!
Lee hands Strank's watch to another flag raiser, Harlon Block, for safekeeping. Shortly after, Block himself is hit by a mortar shell and shouts, "They killed me," before slumping over dead.
Another
The
one?
following
So
day,
2 of them
Lieutenant-
died. Okay. Okay, that makes sense then. I was thinking I only vaguely remember 4 people in the movie. So maybe it's right? I cannot remember.
Colonel Johnson, who has locked the original flag away in the battalion safe, is killed in a Japanese artillery barrage while directing his men at the front.
Oh, rip a real,
3 of the
R.I.P. a
men
real
intimately
one.
involved in one of the most iconic moments in American military history are dead in a matter of hours. On the other side of the island,
That's
Radio
sad.
man Tsurugi Akikusa of the Imperial Japanese Navy is inside the communications bunker within the Turkey Knob. By the night of the 1st of March, the bunker is nearly out of food and water, but more importantly, the radio equipment has been destroyed. Akikusa volunteers alongside 7 other men to run across the Motoyama Plateau and deliver a message to the Naval Air Group command bunker requesting more supplies.
Oh, so you
Before
got to do
he
a full
leaves,
actual runner
Akikusa's
shit.
best friend Shoji Kageyama warns him to be careful. The radio man responds, "Don't worry, I'll be right back."
Let me guess, he isn't right
In
back.
the dead of night, Akikusa and the other messengers slip out of the communications bunker from a cave exit. They make their way
That's my
north,
bet.
moving parallel to American lines as they silently cross the killing ground of the Motoyama Plateau. All around them lies the devastation of war as they pass the twisted remains of wrecked tanks and rotting corpses which could not be evacuated during the day.
Oh, that'd be
US
horrendous.
naval artillery occasionally fires star shells into the night sky, forcing the runners to frequently dive for cover before the landscape is illuminated by artificial light. Whenever a star shell explodes near them, Akikusa must often hide amongst the rows of decomposing human remains to avoid being spotted from the American foxholes.
Oh, that'd be
He works hard to not lose the contents of his stomach
terrible.
before jumping back up when the area goes dark again. The runners creep silently towards their objective while trying to avoid detection.
Oh, look at that.
He and
That's
the other
insane.
runners are almost to the entrance of the command bunker when the radio man spots bright flashes coming from the south. Akikusa dives to the ground as an artillery shell explodes amongst the runners. He looks around to see if anyone else has survived before crawling towards the bunker entrance.
Oh,
Yet another shell
shit.
explodes next to him, severely wounding his leg. With the last of his strength, Akikusa manages to roll into the trench in front of the bunker and is taken inside by Japanese soldiers.
Holy fuck.
He recites his message
That's
to Captain
lucky.
Inoue before passing out from blood loss, but has survived the ordeal.
I say lucky, but the rest of his
By the
squad
end
was
of the battle,
killed.
Akikusa will be the only survivor from the communications bunker in the Turkey Knob. On the 4th of March, a crippled
shit,
B-29
really?
going by the
Oh. So it wasn't him who needed to be careful. It was his friend who told him that.
sign Diner Might requests an emergency landing on Iwo Jima's captured
like that
southern airfield
Dynamite.
while returning from a bombing mission over mainland Japan. Despite the battle still raging on the island, over 2,000 Seabees have worked night and day to make the southern runway usable in less than a week.
Damn, they got shit
Dynamite
done.
makes a hard landing, but the crew is safe. Marines watch as the airmen leap from the aircraft and kiss the ground, shouting, "Thank God for you Marines." It will be the first of 2,251 emergency landings by American aircraft on Iwo Jima.
Damn!
During
That
breaks
ma-
in the battle,
Like, those aren't just normal landings like you would think. No. 2,251. Hey, I would still think, I have no, like, frame of reference, but I think, yeah, that's kind of a lot. That's just the amount of emergency landings. Holy shit, it was really good that we caught that
the
place
Marines
then.
watch as B-29s land at the airfields they have secured, providing a much-needed morale boost. The Americans continue to inch their way across the island, methodically destroying Japanese positions. When the infantry is faced with a particularly difficult strongpoint, American flamethrower tanks are brought in to burn the Japanese out.
Oh, hell yeah, these dudes.
These Zippo or Ronson tanks prove
Oh,
to
I
be the
love
best
Zippo
weapon against the
tanks.
seemingly endless number of enemy bunkers.
That's a
and
cool
caves.
name. God, that's
The American armor
terrifying.
develops their own corkscrew and blowtorch tactic, with 2 Shermans, 1 gun-armed and 1 flame tank, approaching a Japanese strongpoint. The gun-armed Sherman will use its 75mm main gun to blow a hole in the enemy bunker, before withdrawing. The flamethrower Sherman will then move up and shoot flaming napalm into the opening.
Oh, that's
The
smart
armored
as
flamethrower
fuck.
tanks have a range of almost 250 feet, doubling the effective range of the infantry's M2 flamethrower.
Oh, that's
Captain
cool.
Frank Coldwell, a company commander
That's
in the
a cool
26th Marine
tank.
Regiment, will later state, "It was the flame tank more than any other supporting arm that won this battle."
I could see
However,
why.
there are only 8 of these tanks on Iwo Jima, meaning most attacks are launched unsupported by the Marines' best weapon. By the 5th
Oh,
of
that would
March,
suck.
the Americans have finally breached
This
the
entire
Japanese
battle
main
would
defensive
suck.
line, only to come up against a strongly fortified secondary line. The 3rd Marine Division, under the command of Major General Graves Erskine, has cleared out most of the Motoyama Plateau, only to be held up by Hill 362C, a dominating feature overlooking a volcanic sulfur field. Life in the foxholes.
I was about to say, is that the knob? But no, if you look, I think this down here is the knob.
Division
I
under the
think.
command of Major General Graves Erskine.
Yeah, because
has
you have
cleared out
this.
most
Yeah,
of the
because he had to
Nottingham
come up this
Plateau,
way.
only to be held up by
Yeah.
Hill 362C, a dominating feature overlooking a volcanic sulfur field. Life in the foxholes is near impossible for the Marines, who must contend with hot sulfur burning their skin as fumes bubble up from cracks in the ground.
Oh
The
god,
initial
how many
assaults
people got
against Hill
sick from
362C
this?
have so far failed, with numerous casualties despite overwhelming artillery barrages. General Erskine orders another attack before dawn on the 7th, but this time will employ new tactics. At 5 a.m.,
Such as?
the 9th and 21st Marine Regiments leave their foxholes and move quietly across the battlefield. American tactics in the Pacific Theatre have dictated that artillery and air power should always bombard the enemy before the infantry attacks in force. General Erskine has noticed that the Japanese on Iwo Jima retreat deep into the vast tunnel complex during the preemptive bombardment and return to man their positions when the Marines advance. He decides to ditch this strategy and orders his division to attack without a preparatory barrage.
Oh, that's
The men have been
smart.
ordered to observe strict radio silence as they advance gingerly towards the first enemy line. When they reach it, they find the Japanese defenders fast asleep at their posts. The Marines bayonet the enemy and continue forward undetected.
Oh,
They
that's
start to
really
climb what they
fucking
believe is
smart.
Hill 362C until a Japanese machine gun finally spots them
Oh,
and
no.
opens fire. A flamethrower unit swiftly deals with the gun position while the rest of the Marines make a break towards the summit. A short but vicious
that's
firefight breaks
bad.
out as the defenders realise what is happening and try to man their positions. However, the element of surprise
Yeah,
is
too
so
little, too
complete
late
that
now.
the Japanese can only offer scattered resistance.
Your guys
The
on
Marines
watch
clear the
kind of
hill
fucked
by
up.
6:20 a.m. Lieutenant Colonel Harold Bohm, commander of the 3rd Battalion in the 9th Marines, is overjoyed when he learns of the stunning victory, only for
Hell
his
yeah,
heart to
Erskine.
drop when day breaks over Iwo Jima. He is
It's not
horrified to discover that
326C,
his
is
men
it?
have stormed the wrong hill. They had gotten lost in the dark and advanced 250 yards in a different direction.
Oh.
Hill 362C is still occupied by the enemy, and the now alert Japanese have pinned down the 1st and 2nd Battalions, which have been caught in the open. Baum orders his men to attack at once to relieve the pressure on the other Marine battalions and press home his early advantage.
Oh, but what about those guys up here?
While 3rd Battalion charges towards Hill 362C, the other 2 battalions of the 9th Regiment are being cut to pieces.
Oh, that's so many
Lieutenant
dead.
William O'Bannon of Fox Company in the 1st Battalion screams into the radio for tank support, but the Shermans are too far behind the front to quickly move to Fox Company's position, and a broken down tank blocks the only usable path to the front.
Oh, there goes
Japanese
mortars.
spigot mortar and machine gun fire from Hill 362C decimate O'Bannon's ranks. They will be stuck in the open under enemy fire for the entire day. By
God,
the
being
time
in the
tanks
front
arrive
of
to
that
relieve them
fucking
the following
push would
morning,
suck
Fox
dick.
Company only has 5 combat effective men left after starting the previous day with 200.
Only 5?
Yet their sacrifice has not been in vain. 3rd Battalion manages to gain a foothold on Hill 362C, and the Marines start clearing enemy positions with grenades and flamethrowers. Furthermore, the earlier capture of the smaller hill has unhinged the Japanese defensive front, allowing reinforcements to be brought forward without harassment fire from the enemy. By nightfall,
Oh
the
my
hill which had
God.
held up the entire 3rd
I feel like
Marine
I'm being
Division
quiet,
is
but I don't
finally
think
secured.
maybe I'm not.
Despite the earlier mistakes, the surprise attack has cracked the Japanese secondary defensive line.
I mean,
The
they
loss
took
of
a
Hill
lot of
362C
fucking...
is the last straw for Kuribayashi's officers. Without his knowledge or blessing, subordinates Captain Inoue and General Sender send out word to launch a general attack, code for a banzai charge on the night of the 8th of March. They have decided that the fate of Iwo Jima now rests on their shoulders, and only they can turn the tide before the entire garrison is wiped out. As night falls,
Damn!
Japanese soldiers begin preparations for the largest banzai charge of the Battle of Iwo Jima. This week on our new sister channel, the Intel...
Damn. So, his officers went overhit to do that. Why? Like, that's fucking insane. This entire thing is insane. Wow, that was Iwo Jima Animated Part 3, No Surrender. I cannot wait for part 4. That's coming out next week because I already have a full week lined up. But this was really good. Make sure you guys check out the original. This was really fun to watch. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.